thought we'd do a little exploring in our backyard. And so we're going, Theo and I, Theo's in the back on the old truck. So they had this closed off and I was gonna go around, but decided against it. But so we're gonna go check out Indian Point Park. This is one of my favorite metro parks around here. It's another one of those. It's another one of those hidden treasures. It's got some really cool history to it. It's been a, I guess, an important location for a lot of different groups of people. So let's go check it out. Come on, Theo. Looks like we're gonna get a little bit of rain. When I first moved here, I checked out a bunch of the metro parks, and I liked this one because it was secluded, and also, as you'll see, there's some very old trees, like some old growth down here, and the trees reminded me of an older place, a more wild place. So I would come here a lot. It was a nice little loop to walk on. There's, you know, there's rarely anyone here, and they have it blocked off up here now. So, oh, Theo's moving. Okay. Now we're gonna carry Theo's poop with us. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it, but this is the remnants of Hurricane Beryl, and the wind speed was high today. It said between 20 and 40 miles an hour, which is really kind of high in the woods. Anything above 15 can be a little bit scary, but this time of year, most things are alive, and I think it'll be okay. I don't know that these trees, well, I'm certain that they're not as old as the ones that early settlers encountered, but I mean, it's quite a stark contrast to most areas around here. To think that the forest once looked probably more similar to the, you know, giant old growth forests in California, but that a lot of this land was clear cut. And that's how devastating we were as a people. But I love these trees. And I wonder how many people who live up here know this is here, and how incredibly old this spot is, or just this area is, or how important it was to not just Native Americans, but prehistoric Native Americans.
The Indian Point site contains the remains of prehistoric Native American earthen enclosures, officially known as the Lyman site. It's named after a former property owner. There's evidence that the walls were built around 140 BC and the site was occupied again around 1500 AD by the Whittlesea tradition people. The Whittlesea people occupied villages on high bluffs overlooking rivers in northeastern Ohio between 1200 and 1650 AD. They were sedentary and agriculturalists. They grew corn, squash beans, and made pottery for cooking and storage.
The area was also used as a training ground for World War I troops. And I think there's some markers down here for that. It turns out it was actually a youth camp, but there's another placard here. Yeah, it was a youth military camp. Hey, Theo, that's a big drop. Hold on, buddy. That was a plaque dedicated to Georgie Stevens, I believe was his name. Yeah, Georgie Stevens, born in modern day Euclid. And he trained here at the youth camp, went on to fight in World War I, and died storming a machine gun nest in France. Theo, come here. Come on, buddy. There's big drops on either side, and Theo is roaming too much for me. Theo, come here. Sorry, buddy. You gotta stay with me. But World War I in the early 1900s were a pretty trying time in world history, between influenza and World War I, which was incredibly, trench warfare, gas warfare, bloody battles, charging machine guns, which were a new technology then. One of my favorite short stories. That time in history produced a lot of great literature, like Catherine Ann Porter, T.S. Eliot, Hemingway, just to name a few, Ezra Pound, Gertrude Stein. Existentialism was born out of the complete destruction and devastation in Europe. Faith was lost, and it was a feeling that humanity had very much lost its way. And how could you not feel that way amidst such a devastating, catastrophic loss of life? Oop, hold on. Easy, Theo. One of my favorite quotes is from that time, from Kierkegaard. When the stars are quenched in heaven, you tie a lamp to the masthead and steer by that. quite a view from up here. It's a little more impressive when the foliage isn't blocking the view. Foliage. Oh, looks like a local lover's tree here. I've heard that this is a local custom when you come to Lover's Tree. All right, let's go. Okay, let's go. Heal up, Theo. So if you're local in the area and you didn't know about that, I'm happy to have shown you. And if you did, how cool still though. How amazing, right in the backyard. Very cool. I was inspired last week by Garfield's surprising history lesson at the concert in the park. So I thought, well, what else is around here that I was surprised by? And this little promontory here took me by surprise when I saw all the plaques and learned of its history. My mount is broken, so I'm driving and holding the mount with one hand. But thank you for joining me, and I hope you had as much fun as I did. I don't know, I just love that place. I feel like I love spots that it's almost like you can feel the history there. So it seems old when you're there, but then to have it confirmed that there is such a, an old history. I think I said like, what, 140 BC? Holy smokes, that's awesome. I'll see you next time, and check out Hanger on Wheels while you wait, and like, subscribe, and share these videos. That'd really help us out to bring you more content. All right, I'll see you. Thanks for watching.